Welcome all my naked minions. It is your Lord and Master, Fat Kings Phil. I'm now seeing Naked November videos from people I've never seen before. So I'll be going through the recommended for you list on YouTube, and there'll be a naked person there. So we have spread the word far and wide, and my dominant master plan has come to fruition. So we're in good shape. Alrighty, good deal. Let's get jumping into this. As my computer beeps at us. Let's see. A couple things before we get to the numbers. The cat is out of the bag. A friend of mine did see that photo that I posted up with the 360 versus the 260 last week. And it auto-tagged me. I think Facebook auto-tagged my personal profile page. Which I thought I had turned off, but I guess not. And so she saw it and told her husband. So that surprise, I was going to surprise them, but that's out of the question now. There's some other folks who probably don't know, in that group, but that's off the table. So it wasn't intentionally holding it from them. It's just, I got to a point where I was like, well, I don't see those guys and I'm not going to bring it up. If they find out, great, but, I'm just going to surprise them. So there'll be no surprise. So that's kind of where we're at. Thank you to all the guys who co-hosted on FatKings Friday. That was a great show, all 2 hours of it. I was really happy that it got a little deeper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little more TJ in the Raw, which is always a fun time. Don't get me wrong, I love that. But I was glad to see that everybody had a good time, and they actually kept it together. I mean, they really they had some funny moments, but they kept it pretty serious. So I was highly impressed, and thank you guys, one and all, for doing that. I am back from hunting. There was a crap ton of hiking uphill, and I'm talking straight uphill. A lot of sweating, really hard to get enough calories in to support that kind of workout. Hard to keep water in. But I managed not to get dehydrated. I did manage to, get more calories in than I normally would, but nowhere near what I was burning. So, it was a little rough. I ran out of energy. My stamina was not the best. I will say that when we got to the top of some of those mountains, I was beating myself up the whole way up. Like, my God, you work out almost every day. You've lost all this weight and you can barely get your fat ass up this hill. And, you're stopping every 70 feet and you're taking a break. But then when we got up there and I realized how steep we had climbed, I kind of felt a little bit more vindicated, but that didn't stop me from beating myself up. So I still got, I've still got, that whole mentality of, self-flagellation, from being overweight in my head. So, which brings us to the fact that, man, my head is just still not caught up to my body. I still don't see what other people see. Had a very good conversation today with Northern Oregon about that. I'm still not there yet, man. I know it'll get there eventually, but I'm just not there yet. I did start to have little introspective points throughout the trip, being alone in the woods in the quiet, waiting to see animals that never even showed up. I mean, they had footprints and poop everywhere, but no animals, no actual elks. So we got skunked, but, I couldn't even have done this shit 18 weeks ago. And in 18 weeks, I've lost 71 pounds. So that's pretty amazing. So let's get the numbers real quick. I want to talk about those because there's going to be a little bit of a shocker here. Here we go. Day of surgery, 332.8. This morning, I was 261.6, which is a 0.2 gain. Now, I wouldn't even mention the 0.2 gain, except I mention it when it's 0.2 down. So why wouldn't I? And that brings us to 71.2 pounds total loss since surgery. I'm not at all freaked out about that. I mean, not even for 1 second. I don't care. I know how much workout I did last week. I know how much food I ate, even with my shitty food choices on Saturday and Sunday. It wasn't excessive on the calories. I did go up to 1,000 calories one day, but that was me just craving massive amounts of carbs, from working out so hard. Whenever I work out that hard and then my body's just like, it just starts craving carbohydrates like crazy. And that's normally where I screw up. I normally go off plan when I get to that super body hungry level. It's not a physical hunger. It's a craving of whatever my body's lacking. In this case, I think carbohydrates. Excuse me. So, so that's that. I won't go too much into hunting. I will say this, that, without having lost any weight, and I was talking to TJ about this today, and he has the same experience. Whenever I don't lose pounds, I lose a crap ton of inches. And I mean, like almost overnight. I stepped out of the shower, when I got back on, Friday night. I was looking in the mirror and I'm like, man, I look different. My midsection looks different. my whole midsection looks different. And then later on, even last night, I was just looking down and I was like, man, I can really see a difference in my stomach. It's really a lot flatter and stuff. So, my belt has been choked way down. My 40 pants are starting to gather underneath the belt a little bit. So I think I'm probably into 38s by now, which is kind of a mind-blowing thought to me. But I'm going to wait till I can get into 36s before I make the jump, because I don't want to buy every size on the way down. It's too damn expensive. I mean, if you can get a deal over at Walmart for $14 for a pair of jeans, you know, you got to buy a couple pairs, $30. I might as well wait and get the 36s when I get into those, or at least when I can squeeze into them, and then they'll last me a while longer. So that's where I'm at on that. Don't give a shit about the weight gain, if you will, or the non-weight loss, I should say, because the inches have really changed since I got back. It's crazy. I mean, and TJ said the same thing. He said, yeah, when I don't lose pounds, I lose inches. I'm like, yeah, me too. I really notice it. So, and for me to notice it when I see myself every day, that's crazy. So, I'll take it. So I talked a little bit about this already. That emotional piece really hasn't hit me yet. I saw TJ's video and I thought it was really good. I mean, I thought it really brought, to the forefront, what's kind of going on with a lot of folks in the community, and why we are, and I was thinking about why we are so close and how we get such close friendships so quickly. And I talked a little bit about this on FatKings Friday, and we had talked about it in a Google Hangout with, TJ and I went in there with Team VSG, and we were talking, and, you know, there's a subtext, an unspoken subtext when you hear another overweight person's story, because you know all the bullshit and the negative self-image and the shitty things that people have said to them, the shitty things that people have done, you know, sideways looks, things like that. You've experienced that. So you empathetically already know where a lot of those victories are coming from when they talk about wins, or where their heart is when they have setbacks. And you immediately feel attached to these people emotionally, empathetically, immediately. And that's why I think how we're able to develop really close friendships, even with people who have diverse political views in the community, diverse opinions on I don't know, all kinds of things. But we still have that core piece of us underneath that is the same. And it transcends sexual preference, gender, occupation, whatever, politics, everything. And that's why I think that we do get so close. And TJ had a point. I mean, I kind of have experienced this a little bit, although it's not quite as prevalent for myself per se. But, I think, like, my wife hasn't been overly supportive. She hasn't been overly unsupportive. I don't think she's a bad person. She's a great person. But she hasn't, she didn't even know how many weeks it's been since my surgery. And I'm just like, how could you not know that? It's been 4.5 months, like, how can you not know? I know there's people on the internet that know this, and then she doesn't know how many pounds I've lost. She asks me all the time. She'll have to constantly ask me, how many is it? What was it again? So she's not really paying much attention. And it kind of bums me out, because it's like, hey, this is a big damn deal for me right now. This is a big journey. And TJ covered this. I'm not going to re-go over the ground. But it started making me think about something. It's kind of a shitty thing to say, but maybe there is a laziness in being with an overweight partner. So, in other words, if you're with somebody and they're with, and you've been the overweight partner, this is going to be shitty to say. You're willing to accept some scraps of things instead of being high maintenance. In other words, you maybe don't need as much affection or as much attention or as much sex or as much whatever it is. You're just happy to have what you can get. So there's a laziness to the other person. Like, I don't have to work that hard to be in this relationship. In that respect, I mean, there's other difficult things about relationships. Of course, you got to work at them. But I wonder if, as the thing that scares me a little bit is, as we, the heavy partner, get thin and we decide that we do deserve or want more of things, whether it's, hey, I want you to go I want you to go hiking with me more. I want you to be more affectionate with me. I want you to, whatever it is. How is that going to affect those other folks? Like, they're going to have to work a little harder now. That's going to kind of suck for them, I guess, if they've been used to not having to work for it. And I think that's where a lot of the things TJ was talking about are coming from, that maybe they're just so used to being able to get by with less that now this is kind of a pain in their ass, and they're kind of resenting it a little bit in some respects. And that's why they don't get all ramped up about it. I don't know. Just the thought I had today. It was kind of a shitty thought floated through my head, but You know, I guess folks are going to have to decide if they want to step up and be more supportive, or if that's just too much work and it's not worth it to them. And then that may cause problems in relationships. So that's all I wanted to talk about on that. And I'm not calling out my wife or anything on this, but I can see where that might be a problem in the future. Not so much now. Like I said, my mental image is still not caught up with my body, so we'll see. So that's that. Yeah. Other than that, on the support issue, I think, people get a little, again, we're all amped up about it, and it's all our big focus. Like TJ said, you're thinking about yourself all the time. I kind of feel a little guilty about that sometimes. The amount of time I spend making a video, I could be spending with the kids. The amount of time I spend editing a video, I could be with the kids. The amount of time I spend chatting with people on Google Hangouts, I could be doing more things with my wife around the house. So there's been a part of me that's kind of caught myself doing that a couple times and feeling bad about it, but it's kind of what I need right now. And I'm feeling a little more selfish lately. I don't know. Maybe that's shitty. I don't know. You guys tell me. I just don't know if I could get through the rest of the journey without doing that stuff, though. Can I get through? Can I get to goal? Can I finish this without being a little more selfish? I don't think I can. I think this requires the amount of focus that it requires, and it requires the amount of positive reinforcement. You're fighting, to TJ's point, and I think more so for people who've been big their whole life, so it was really kind of shocking to hear it from him, but you're fighting a demon that you've been dragging around your whole life, and it has shaped your mental image of yourself, the dialogue that you have about yourself, the way you beat yourself up, the way you push yourself harder, that's constantly going on. And if you're not fighting that at all times to make sure that you're not just ignoring your successes and continuing to beat yourself up or continuing to have that negative voice in your head, you're not going to succeed. And to have other people be supportive and excited for you and genuinely excited. It's not fake excitement like he was talking about, like pretend. People online in the community are genuinely excited for you. They genuinely feel your pain. Today I saw a video for somebody who, because they switched insurance, got their surgery pushed, canceled. And I mean, my heart just broke for her because it was like, holy shit, she just fought this long road and one little tiny change fucked it all up. And you guys know I don't normally swear, but that's pretty bad. That's rough. And I just was, it choked me up. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about much more. I'll get choked up again. So those connections are out there and they're real. I mean, I think about a lot of the folks that I've met through this community. And I don't want to start naming names because I'll leave people off, but they know, you guys all know who you are. And I definitely appreciate the fact that you trust me with some of the things that are deep down inside you that you don't share with other people. And I appreciate the fact that I can do that with you guys. And whether it's public through the video or it's privately when we have IM sessions or phone calls, much appreciated. So, all right, let me climb down off that horse. All right, that's about it, I think, for this week. This is the second take of this video, and I think I like it better already. Announcement, Fat Kings Friday will be recorded live tomorrow night on Wednesday, 5 o'clock Pacific, 6 o'clock Mountain, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern. So mark your calendars, be there if you can. We're doing that because TJ's got to travel on Thursday, and he's traveling to the land that broadband forgot. So I don't know that we can record Fat Kings Friday when he gets out to Washington. We're going to do some tests ahead of time. If not, I'll be looking for guest hosts. I'll be contacting folks. And if I don't contact you, don't feel bad. I'm only going to cover a few shows, but I'm going to try and get some folks in there whom I think could kind of carry on that Fat Kings Friday kind of feel. And we'll go from there. That's where we're at. I don't have anything else for you guys, but be there tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Mountain. Adjust it for your time zone. I already gave it to you once. You can rewind it and listen again. All right, that's it. I will catch you guys next week with, I'm pretty sure, a loss. I kind of feeling like things are back on track already. 2 great days of eating, and good exercise so far. So we'll see where it goes. All right, remember, it's good to be the king.